characters of any kind, and they can write any kind of show that they have an inclination to write, and that we make a lot more than we should of who can write what and what they bring to the room.
Here's a broader question for all of you. You know, Caprica has already been embraced and by many and dismissed by a few as being a soap opera. You know, with love and passion and betrayal and emotional storylines, which are as if that's mutually exclusive with science fiction. And yet, David or Ron, I'm not sure which one of you said this on a DVD commentary I was listening to. One of you said that you believe that of all genres, science fiction is most capable of distilling human emotion. Why do you think that emotions are more acute in sci-fi?
Well, I think you have the opportunity to make them more acute, because you can really make it, you know, you have this fantastical world and all these interesting ideas floating around it, but the way that you really draw the audience into that world, in my opinion, is by making the characters really fascinating and really interesting, and that the audience buys into the larger frame because they're drawn in by the people at the center of it. And so if you can really craft those characters in such a way that the audience has an instant identification with them and loves them or hates them and is fascinated with them, they'll find themselves pulled into this other realm. And then once you're there, you know, you've created this sort of perfect viewing experience, because you've literally taken the audience out of the world they live in and put them into this other universe. And I think that the way you do that is not with the flash and the spectacle and the sort of the wow of yet another CGI effect. It's really about the people that the audience falls in love with. You know, the example I always use when I have these kind of conversations is when I was a dyed-in-the-wool original series Star Trek fan growing up as a kid. But it was really because I fell in love with those characters. I tuned in every week to see what Kirk, Spock, and McCoy were going to do, not because there was this, you know, amazing new alien of the week that was going to be on the show, or they were going to bump into the styrofoam rocks again the next week, or any of the rest of that stuff, which was great. You know, I mean, it had a great production aesthetic, and it was certainly, you know, a well-conceived, fully thought-out universe that they were put into. But I bought into that universe because of William Shatner's performance, because of Leonard Nimoy's performance, and DeForest Kelley, and the rest of those actors who sold that series week in and week out. And in our little neck of the woods, it's Edward James Olmos and Mary McDonnell and Aaron. They're the ones that do the heavy lifting in front of the camera, and it's because you care about Eddie, and it's because you care about Mary and Katie and Jamie and James and all the rest of them, that you're willing to buy into the story that I'm telling you. Which, just to give a side note, I have to say in public that it is a fracking crime that in the entire run of Battlestar Galactica, that the cast was never recognized for the performances they did. It is criminal. I'll tell you one thing. I would not be on this panel today. We would not be here talking about Caprica if it was not for the ensemble of actors that we put together on Battlestar Galactica.
You will want to keep your applause going because there's another member of the ensemble who is waiting to come on stage. Please welcome Grace Park.
Out of the panel. Do you remember what happened last time they tried to do that?
How funny.
Grace.
Yes.
You had a very daughterly relationship with Admiral Adama on BSG. I wonder, when Eddie was directing you, was there ever any tension? Did he ever have to tell you to go to your room? Was there ever?
Well, early on I shot him twice in the chest, so I think we sort of leveled the playing field there. But
what was he like as a director?
awesome. He'd always wanted to take the scenes further. I'm surprised there wasn't more nudity in our parts of the plan. Maybe. I think there was, maybe because of the daughterly-father relationship, I didn't have that part. Eddie's amazing, and he's actually not just directed me only in the plan, or the episodes that he directed, but also from the very beginning. I mean, he was always looking out for us, and it was beautiful to have him, such an accomplished actor, to be able to direct us. Every director has a different appeal and a different strength that they bring. And
What's his strength?
he has multiple, but the fact that he could draw on his performance and acting background and be able to, he's experienced characters so much before and carried them through full performances of either movies or television shows, and so many of them as well. So I could ask him different questions as an actor, a kind of actor to actor, instead of just as an actor to director.
I want to talk a little bit about comedy, because Jane, you've not only written for Buffy and DS9 and Firefly, but you've also written for Ellen, the sitcom, and Gilmore Girls, and you're funny, and I know Ron and David are funny. So something that struck me in watching the plan was the dark comedy in it, and it was really brought by Dean Stockwell's character. I mean, if it's a drama, nobody told him. I can't wait until you see it. So, how often is levity a consideration when it comes to writing an episode, or is it a happy surprise sometimes?
I'm always looking for it, because I think that it gets realer, because in real life you joke and you laugh, and I also think that you can make the dark all the darker by having jokes. There's something about, I was really happy to see in the selection of clips that they used for the plan that they included the line, "Let's get this genocide started," which is a tough joke to write, because it's got a bit of darkness to it. And I think that a joke like that that's funny and kind of soul-chilling can give you, can give you both simultaneously. You aren't undercutting the hardness by giving a joke. And if you have a character that jokes when they're scared, when they joke, you know they're scared. So it can make it scarier for the audience. So I think there's a lot of ways to use humor that don't undercut drama. So I love to find places to put it in. You're going to find humor in Caprica going forward, just because to me it just feels natural.